Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and welcome to Maritime Athletic Profiles on YouTube for today's live coverage of the RGT League semifinal as Kizzy, the number 5 seed, takes on the number 1 seed Top Gear Auto. How you doing, folks? My name's Alan April, and I'm joined today by Ilya Kurbanov, a man who knows this gym at University of King's College very well. And Ilya, you know, we're excited to see a good matchup, a lot of high-profile players in the maritime basketball scene out here today. What do you expect to see from today's semifinal action? Yeah, absolutely, and we're getting the starting lineups here now. So starting for Kizzy, as you mentioned, number 41, Kevin Churchill, number 3, Osmond Berry, number 2, Tyler Scott, number 8, Marquise Clayton, and number 5, Will Silver. And in a pregame ceremony just a moment ago, Will Silver was named the Defensive Player of the Year. Will is just a hard-working guy, a personal trainer here in Halifax, showed out top of the food chain, and despite being on the plus side of 30, you can see today he still has tremendous athleticism, and he uses that on the defensive end.
To be honest, speaking of athleticism,
yeah,
if you have paid attention on social media anytime between now and the years when the COVID just began, he was featured everywhere. Sports Center, World Star, you name it. His core workout is something I believe anyone wishes to be able to achieve that level of strength.
I know, he's gone viral a few times. Like, you've played basketball your whole life. Have you ever been asked to hit a half-court shot from a exercise ball?
I've never attempted, and I'm not daring to either, you know.
Right on.
I think something that Will definitely has over me is the core strength and balance.
Yep.
So I'll give it to him, and I'll leave it to the pros.
Quickly, we'll go through the starting lineup for Top Gear Auto. Number 1, Chris Johnson. Expect to hear that name a lot today. Number 2, Cordell Gentil. Number 7, Faisal Jabbar. Number 24, Shamar Burrows. And number 9, Ife Chikwe. And here is Chikwe, the current Dow Tiger, settles into a 3 and knocks it down. And that's a nice play right there to get the game started for Ife Chikwe, who was a role player on the Tigers, but might be in line for a bigger role this year.
Absolutely, with the absence of now Kevan Vino and Alex Carson, who obviously graduated. He's deemed to have a bigger role, and Shamar Burrows now attacking.
As it's back to Chikwe, straight away, 3-ball, 2 for 2. Ife knocks it down. Chikwe, the 6'2" guard out of Dartmouth and Auburn High, as mentioned, just completed his second year with the Dow Tigers, played in 7 games, averaging just under 3 points per game. But there is a pure scorer right there. Tyler Scott settles into the long 2.
And Tyler Scott will make you pay. Give him a little bit of space. He'll make sure to break you down and find that wide open shot.
As Chris Johnson puts up a 3, Kizzy wanted a double dribble on Burrows there. A little bit of an awkward dribble move. We have an excellent veteran 3-ref crew here today at Kings. Chikwe, 3 for 3. Ife with a trio of triples. And Top Gear Auto has opened up a 9-2 lead.
Chikwe is straight out of the gate, 3 for 3 from the 3, feeling hot and setting the tone for the rest of the Kizzy squad. Top Gear Auto. Or should we just call them TGA?
You can call them TGA for sure, yeah. I believe it's a business that Faisal here, number 7, owns. Car, I don't know exactly. Some sort of auto business.
Fun fact, I actually work with his brother at Lululemon.
There you go.
Mo Jabber, who's
a soccer player.
Yeah, he's going to be playing for Dow this upcoming season.
There you go. A little alpha there from the AUS insider, Ilya Kurbanov. not just basketball. Now Chris Johnson, the seasoned pro, puts up a floater, can't get it to fall. Shamar Burrows follows it up. Burrows, another Dow Tiger, was a second-team All-Star last year, averaging just under 15 and 8 for the AUS champions. Burrow with the crossover drive, can't finish. Cordell Jonty secures the rebound, but can't control it, and it's going to be Kizzy ball heading the other way.
And Ify was wide open in the corner right there once again, and it looks like TGA just failed to find him for a possible 4th 3 in this game.
Now Burrows in transition to the hoop. Looks like Churchill got a piece of that one from behind, and Kizzy looking to go the other way in transition. Will Silver, the former St. FX X-Men, setting up the offense. Now calling for a screen from Barry. Silver settles into a 3, and he connects.
And he can make you pay if you leave him wide open, although he might not be as great of a shooter as Clayton or, you know, Tyler Scott, but still, you cannot leave him wide open.
Burrows, now Chikwe again. Oh my, Ify Chikwe is on fire. 4 for 4 from beyond the arc, all 12 points, and TGA leads by 7.
Chikwe shooting all the way from Auburn's gym pretty much with all that real estate to get.
That is a tough shot by Mark Layton. You think he meant to bank that one in?
I doubt it. I think he just, you know, he
sometimes
wished upon the stars and it went in.
Sometimes when you're a true scorer, you just throw it up there and shooters shoot, and sometimes you get the bounce. As one and done on the offensive end for TGA. Good pace to this one to start. I don't know if we've had a whistle yet. Barry now working on the left block. He'll settle into a 3 and connects.
And Barry is another stretch forward that can knock it down from the 3. Drive to the basket, post up. He's got a complete game.
Well, if Barry is shooting 3s, then every player on this Kizzy team is able to hit from deep, and that stretches out the defense. But a nice mid-range jumper there from a seasoned pro, Cordell Jonty. Oh, the lob and the finish. Tyler Scott to Osmond Barry.
The young Barry would have definitely threw it down with authority, as we've seen it in the days at St. Mary's.
As Chris Johnson now puts up a 3. Can't connect. Well, that's one thing you talk about these teams here. Maybe a little bit of athleticism lost, but they're as skilled as ever, and Mark Layton showing it right there, hitting from 28 feet. Maritime basketball fans have seen a lot of that in the past. Former SMU Husky, Moncton Magic, and Halifax Hurricane in the NBL Canada. In fact, from my calculations, there's 5 players on the court right now who have played pro in the NBL Canada. Chris Johnson, Cordell Jonty, Tyler Scott, Mark Layton, and Kevin Churchill.
And all of the players are extremely talented. You know, not only experienced to play pro, but also university ball on Division I level in the States, or even the U Sport level.
Well, Chris Johnson is more experienced than anyone. The former D1 product at St. Bonaventure. He's played pro for 7 years in England, Germany, Portugal, and the NBL Canada, where he averaged over 13 points per game and was 3 times named to the NBL Canada All-Star team. As we get the first substitution of the game, it's going to be CJ Hollett. Now Clayton, tough 3 from the corner, can't connect. Jonty with the rebound, and here comes Johnson.
Now, it looks like there's slight communication mistake between Johnson and Jabber as the ball gets tipped on the pass.
Now Burrows, kick out, Jonty can't connect with that. Long 2, hit one a few minutes earlier. Tyler Scott with the rebound. The former All-Canadian with the UPI Panthers. Now Barry puts up a 3, that's off. Churchill with the rebound. That's going to be one thing in this game. Kizzy has a height advantage with that Twin Towers front line of Churchill at 6'8" and Barry at 6'9". It's going to put a lot of pressure on Cordell Jonty as well as Chris Johnson to play a bit bigger than he might usually like to.
And you're seeing now the adjustments that Kizzy have made. They don't leave Chikwe wide open or giving him any space to get open. So those 3s might slow down from the TGA squad.
Tough jumper there from the top of the arc for Burrows, and Just like that, it's a 2-point game. Clayton on the blow-by finishes. Mark Clayton off to a hot start here. I believe he's got 7 points to lead Kizzy, and we're all tied up at 19 apiece. Now Chris Johnson working out of the pick and roll. Johnson gets it back. Corner long 2 actually, and he knocks it down. Both teams just, you know, it's a Saturday afternoon. These guys aren't practicing all day throughout the week, but they are shooting lights out to begin this game.
Seems like an NBA All-Star game. Not NBA talent, but you know what it's like. If you ever watched one, it's just trading buckets. But when you see Scott and Johnson go at it, it's definitely all about that defensive effort and getting the buckets.
Scott and Johnson would have been teammates in the NBL Canada, I believe both with Island Storm and with Halifax Hurricanes at different points of their pro career.
They certainly played together in their last year in 2019.
With Halifax.
Before COVID took everything away from us pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. And Corey Hollett knocks down a 3. And you mentioned COVID. We'll talk about it if we do get a whistle. But that's one of the great things about this league. You know, a lot of these guys haven't been able to pursue pro opportunities over the last couple of years through the pandemic, but they're getting to play at a high level and stay ready if that call comes. Now Burrows in transition, Cheekway. Looks to be a bit of contact on that one, but no call. Churchill, skilled big man, brings it across half himself. Now Travis Adams, former SMU Husky, kicks it out. Corey Hollett, catch and shoot 3. Just a little long, but you don't want to leave him open. Cheekway now drives to the hoop. Churchill says, get out. Big block there from Churchill.
And that's the experience, the weak side defense rotation. Kevin Churchill is definitely one of the players that certainly knows what it's like playing with one of the greatest Canadian basketball coaches in Smart.
And Shamar Burrows settles into a mid-range. So far it's been Cheekway and Burrows leading it. And TGA has a slight lead, 23-22, with 1:46 remaining in the first.
Yeah, certainly if there is one thing Dave Smart does not take, you know, any BS on the floor is the rotations, the little things, the attention to detail. And that rotation is something you miss. You sit on the bench, perhaps, maybe for the rest of the game.
As Hollett puts up a 3 and knocks it down. Big time bucket there by Corey Hollett. And Kizzy might be their first lead of the game. Comes ahead 25-23. 1:30 remaining in the first quarter. Johnson swings it to Gentil. Cheekway now locked down by Will Silver, who's shadowing him. Burrows puts up a tough jumper from the corner, can't get it to go. Barry, 2-on-1 with Hollett coming the other way. Barry to the hoop. Tough finish there by Osmond Barry.
Great fake by Barry, taking the pass and taking it to the opposite side and getting a layup. And now it's a second turnover here by Burrows.
Oh, steal by Johnson, and now TGA have numbers the other way, and Gentil lays it up and in.
Kizzy putting a lot of pressure on the TGA squad. That's certainly undernumbered.
We got a little something brewing here between Shamar Burrows and Will Silver. They are going at it full court, 94 feet right now, as Travis Adams with a tough post move. Adams, tough player to move on that block.
Hey, one of the strongest players I definitely played in this city at the times when he was at Holland. Took a charge one time and it hurt. Trust me, it did.
Still feeling that one years later. As Chris Johnson hits a deep 3. Well, no shortage of offense in this first quarter. 15 seconds remain on the clock, and Kizzy's going to hold for the final possession. Silver, defended by Cheekway, calling for the ball screen from Barry. Now Silver kicks Barry on the pop. Contested jumper, no good. Silver. And 0.4 seconds on the clock. I don't think we're going to see a Derek Fisher here. They're calling it, yeah. They called a foul on the rebound, so Kizzy ball on the baseline, 0.4. You can throw it to the rim if Oz, that's what they're going to, no.
And Fisher moment does not pan out the way he did in the NBA.
No, might have been a slightly slow start on the clock, too, by Is that Luke on the clock?
It is. And
I think so.
you know, as coaches love complaining about the clock now, who's going to complain to Luke? It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. All right, well, that was an exciting first quarter. You know, we didn't really have any stoppages, no free throws. It was just straight offense back and forth, and it is Kizzy that has the 29-28 lead. What are your impressions of that opening quarter?
Well, you know, I like the fact that Kizzy finally made that adjustment after, you know, Ife Chikwe hit those 4 threes, and obviously the first 2 were kind of wide open. The other 2 were late on a rotation on the contest, but then once they hit that 4th one, you saw the adjustment. They had to force him off the line. They had to force him to put the ball on the floor, and was really successful as they kind of regained that momentum and, you know, leading now by 1 after that first quarter. But in the end, I feel like TGA has to move the ball a little more. They are being aggressive. They are being aggressive on the attack, but they are not finding the wide open man in the corners or in their spots. Regardless, forcing tough contested shots is not working out for them. I think moving the ball a little better with the same aggression, they'll be in a better position, and perhaps we'll see something change.
As we get set to begin, first look at a couple substitutions. TJ Hollett for Kizzy, as Travis Adams puts up a 3 and gets the roll. Nicely done. Adams knocks that one down, and Kizzy has opened up a 4-point lead. Drama Downey with the splakack on the back of his jersey is also in for TGA. Chikwe able to escape the pressure. Now Silver picks him up. Burrows. Now Johnson gets a bump there. That's one of the things. Chris Johnson plays at such like his own pace. You can't force him to speed things up. He plays almost in slow motion, but when I coach, I tell the kids, you know, you want to think fast and move slow sometimes. And as an offensive player, if you can make that first move slowly, react to your opponent, it opens up a lot of things.
And that's the point guard mentality that he has. You know, he's experienced. He's played at different levels, from Division I to overseas to playing in Canada in the NBL. He's a true point guard, and it shows when he attacks the basket or communicates with his teammates.
That time, well defended, as looked like Churchill got a piece of that floater from Johnson. Inbounded now for Burrows, puts up the 2, knocks it down. And, you know, TGA doesn't really seem to have a whole lot of flow on offense, but they're just hitting tough shots. They've got some professional scorers out there in Burrows and Johnson, and they don't need much help to get a tough shot up, knock it down.
Yeah, and Shamar Burrows being now the most athletic player on that Dallas squad, now that Key Vandino is going playing pro overseas after graduating. But like you said, having that quick step gives you that advantage to get the shot you want in different spots of the court.
And that is Burrows' go-to move right there. Can't get it to roll, but anytime he's in the paint, he's going to turn over that left shoulder.
Spin to the left,
yeah.
Finish with a left hand or a fadeaway left jumper. So it's something that he does to perfection.
I actually found myself guarding him on a possession when my team, Super Smash Bros, played TGA earlier this year, as Adams gets it to go. And I know exactly what you're going to do, Shamar. And he's like, well, stop it then. And I couldn't. All I could do was make it tough.
Hey, it's hard to stop someone like Shamar Burrows. If you ever had the chance to play against him, he's definitely one of the most athletic and strongest guards that you could possibly be guarding in the AUS or the U Sports level.
Travis Adams can't knock down the free throw. Kizzy holding on to that 4-point lead as these two teams continue to exchange punches on the offensive end. Burrows. Hollett brings the double. Burrows finds the open man, Cordell Gentil. Nicely done there by Burrows. Attract the double and dish.
And that is something like I mentioned during the break. Attack, find the open man, because the help is going to happen.
Adams kicks to TJ Hollett in the corner. Can't get that one to drop. Long rebound tapped out by Adams. Now Churchill can't connect, but a third offensive rebound. And this isn't with Barry in the game, but still you're seeing the height advantage of Kizzy make an impact.
and it's also lack of attention to detail. You have to box a man out, especially they get the first offensive rebound. You tend to learn from that. You tend to, okay, now we got to find the body. But that happened 3 times in a row, and Clayton made them pay.
Now Burrows working on Silver, the RGT Defensive Player of the Year. Burrows himself was a finalist for MVP. Johnson puts up a contested 3. No good, but great job by the veteran Cordell Gentil. Turns it over, and Adams is fouled in the backcourt. As Kizzy will take over possession here with 6:57 remaining in the second quarter, and Tyler Scott comes back in. One thing that might make an impact in this game, TGA with a very short bench. Just 7 players here today. It's one of the issues with running a men's league in the summertime. People have other commitments, there's vacation going on. As Adams knocks down another triple, he's heating up this second quarter.
And if you ask me, the weather outside is beautiful. You would be catching me on the beach if it wasn't for the games today.
Burrows, are you kidding me? Tough finish. The reverse scoop with the left hand over the shot blocker Churchill. Count it, and 1.
The body positioning in the air is something that Burrows has over, I would say, anyone in this league with his athleticism and the strength. This is a tough move to make mid-air. And the fact that he was able to, adjust to the help side made a tough layup and converted the N1.
Yeah, well, there's lots of different kinds of athleticism. Burrows is fast and he can jump high, but I think the most impressive athletic thing for him, and it's probably pretty similar to Will Silver actually, is the balance that he has. All those spin moves, never losing his footing, always like to spin quickly and rise up and compose yourself in midair. It's really difficult to do.
And it's a read as well. You making reads, you react to what defense gives you. And the defense rotates, you have to make something happen. And that's, in that case, the pass was too late. You're obviously not going to try to turn the ball over or kick it out of bounds. But take a tough hoop. Refs normally reward aggression, and he got rewarded after making that layup.
As Churchill can't finish there, but it's going to remain Kizzy ball with 5:45 remaining in the second quarter.
We're seeing a little bit more of chippiness now. As the score is slowing down, there's a little bit more defense. And as I say that, announcer scurs, we get a 3 from Clayton.
Well, Clayton, another player, he doesn't need much space. He'll rise up into that 3 ball. It can be as deep as 30, 32 feet, and there's not much you can do to stop it. Burrows again, tough lefty floater in the lane. This second quarter has been Burrows versus Adams and a little bit of Clayton. Kizzy holding on to the 5-point lead. Now Clayton. Extremely tough move, not a lot of space off that step back spin. And that time, Silver, that's a foul.
There's a lot of hate.
Yeah.
If anything that I love about men's leagues is that a lot of times refs are more lenient. You can
sometimes
kind of be loud. You can kind of be a little bit more animated.
Yeah.
When you play in an organized game, it's a U Sports, it's televised, and you say something back. You see the hands raised really quick, without hesitation.
These refs today, Manny, Dave, and Rob, I believe. They're veterans, though. They've been around the block, so they know what to expect from a men's league like this. And the other thing is, as Barry wasn't expecting the initial pass, but able to capitalize off the deflection and finish, and Mar and him getting into it a little bit. Mar's saying, you got to look for that pass. Barry's saying, hey, 2's a 2, I scored. And PGA takes time out.
100%. And that defense and the intensity, the cheapness, you like that, right? But there should be limits. I think no one wants to get hurt on the court, especially in these types of games. You have players like Burrows, Chiquet, they have seasons ahead. This is not something that they want to happen, and obviously not a single person in this gym would want to see anyone go down with any type of injury. But let's take a break. Initially, you mentioned that COVID this league brought a lot of attention during COVID times, you know, when the limits were raised to a capacity where games were able to be hosted with, you know, 25 or 50 people in the gym. You know, shout out to Danny Judd, who's running this league, you know, doing a lot of work. And I'm sure anyone in this city who plays basketball is admiring the fact that there's something this competitive that we are able to see or participate. So shout out to Danny Judd.
Yeah, huge shout out to Daniel. I mean, you know, we're in the semifinals here today. Should mention we'll have the second semifinal coming up at about 2:45 as Gremlins takes on Young Guns. That should be another fun matchup. But there were 18 teams in this league. I don't know if you've ever had to schedule a league or like anything, but getting 18 teams, that's up to, you know, 150, 180 guys, all on the same page in the summer where there's all these other commitments, and every team playing 10, 11, 12 games. As Travis Adams, we'll call that a light dunk. That's a summer dunk.
We'll give it a squeeze.
That's a summer
dunk.
dunk.
A squeeze, you know, but he got up there. He certainly got up there. I feel like he lost the footing in the end there, and that's why it didn't go as hard as he wished, but it was certainly nonetheless impressive.
As Chris Johnson now puts up a triple, knocks it down. Big shot there by CJ, cuts the lead back to 4. Kizzy's been on a little bit of a run in this second quarter, but they can't seem to get it much past that 4-point mark. As now Adams thought about the 3. Instead, he'll drive middle. Tough step through. Battle for the board. And it's going to be Kizzy ball on the baseline.
A lot of chippy talk there on the baseline. But Travis, like we mentioned that earlier, the strength that he has is, I don't think, could be matched.
Well, Cordell Gentil, who we got into it there, is pretty big himself. Cordell is actually top 10 all-time in games played in the NBL Canada. I have it here somewhere as Clayton is fouled. Cordell Gentil played 8 seasons in the NBL Canada, 177 games. You remember the Quebec Kebs? They were a team
that was probably
early.
Way before
that was like 2009, 2010.
I only moved
they
to
played
Canada
in Quebec
in 11,
City.
So
yeah,
I definitely had no idea. I remember they had Montreal Matrix that they wanted to make something bigger, but it never unfolded.
ABL, I think that was.
Yeah.
And we certainly do hope, and actually there's some things in the works with an East Coast basketball league, but we'd love to see, you know, paid pro basketball back here in Halifax. See the CEBL is doing awesome. Had J. Cole playing this year. I'm sure some of these guys would love to match up against J. Cole.
Funny you mentioned that. I was in Montreal when they announced that, and tickets were sold out within seconds for that home opener.
Yeah, the Scarborough Shooting Stars, which was J. Cole's team, they had like a 10,000 person wait list for their tickets within the first hour of announcing that news. So obviously he had a short stint in the league, but a great thing for Canadian basketball and pro basketball in this country. And it's awesome for guys to be able to play, whether it's in a men's league like this or pro, to be able to stay in Canada, close to family. You know, continue working a 9 to 5, but continue following your passion and playing high-level basketball.
And CBL is doing a great job. The way they expanded to extra 2 teams with Growlers and obviously the Alliance in Montreal. Now, there are talks, I'm hearing, that there's possibly a team coming to the East Coast, and that possibility could be the Halifax area, Nova Scotian area. So let's hope we get one and we can get out to those games and perhaps see some of the talent on display that we see here today in CEBL eventually.
Now Burrows coming the other way, can't get the lane to drop. Downey, some nice hustle, able to secure the rebound, finds an open Johnson from the right wing, knocks it down, and he loved that one. Cuts it to a 1-point Kizzy lead, and Chris Johnson, you do not want him to heat up from deep. Look at Johnson banging with Barry on the post too. He's got to play a bit bigger against this oversized front line of Kizzy. Clayton settles into a 3, and he's got the answer.
He's got so much time on that jumper. I don't think I've seen that much so far in this game. Normally most of the shots are pretty contested, especially the ones that Johnson takes.
Oh. And that is a pro move right there. Although CJ's going to be upset when he finds out they're not giving him the free throws here.
Well, he'll be shooting anyways with the bonus.
Oh, bonus. Good call. Ooh, they got the team fouls up. Ah, they didn't have that for the quarterfinal last night. That's all Luke right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the play is slightly, you know, more important. There's some stakes. What are we talking about?
I was in the quarterfinal last night.
Yeah.
They didn't have the score clock up. We didn't have the King's College coach Luke Stevenson in the building. Maritime Athletic Profiles wasn't here.
Yeah, I know. It's quarterfinals.
Okay.
You know,
it's semifinal Saturday, baby.
Exactly.
People are excited.
It's probably the day of the week.
Yeah,
Saturday.
you might be right. Friday night's a tough sell.
Exactly.
Friday night's a tough sell.
Now think about the quarterfinal games that happened on Thursday. Who would want to do that? Especially Luke.
Layton puts up a 3 and Barry on the follow, counted and one. Jonty caught with a little push to the back, and that combo connected during their time at St. Mary's. Couple of AUS All-Stars. 1 point led the Huskies to an AUS championship and a 5th place finish at Nationals. Last time it was hosted in Halifax. As Barry converts the 3-point play, and it's right back to a 4-point lead. It's like, you know, TGA cuts it to a single possession game, and Kizzy just gets it back to 4, that comfort zone. Burrows can't hit the mid-range that time. Jobber with the steal finds Jonty, can't finish on the layup. Adams flying for the rebound, and there's the intensity we're talking about. Throws it off Burrows. And a little frustration there on the baseline from both Adams and Burrows. Johnson trying to hype his guys up. Well, from a personnel standpoint, like, you know, this TGA team's talented, but it's 2 players who are doing all the shooting right now, in Burrows and Johnson. Chikwe got off to a hot start, but has settled down and is on the bench right now. And that's going to be 2 shots for Adams. As opposed to this Kizzy team where literally any of the 5 on the court, any of the 8 are a threat to shoot and score.
Especially, you know, when you have 3 guys who are natural scorers.
Yeah.
All 3 played in the AUS with Clay and then obviously Silver and Scott. Scott, who is probably the better of the 3. And now you
Tyler
have
Scott, I think, led the country in points per game, over 25 at UPEI. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Although Javon was still around. Javon might have gotten him by like a point or 2.
Javon Masters is an all-time leading scorer, not only in the AUS but U Sports.
Yes, he is.
And I feel like if Tyler Scott got the load of shots that Masters was getting, and don't get me wrong,
you
shout
might
out
be
to
right.
Masters.
Yeah.
He's been tremendous with the Reds in his 5 years, but Tyler Scott is.
Yeah, they were both second team All-Canadian in their senior season, so definitely no harm being second in the conference to the all-time leading scorer. As Burrows kicks to the corner, now Jonty will drive, takes a bump and finishes. That's just strength and skill there from the seasoned pro Cordell Jonty. I looked him up, and he is 42 years old.
Oh wow. We talking about LeBron playing in the NBA. That's LeBron being in the NBA.
Burrows, somehow no call. He's not going to be happy about that one, but Jobber finishes it up. And it's back to a 2-point game, and, you know, that's timely. A pair of buckets from Jonty and Jabber, that's what we're talking about. They need some secondary scoring outside of Burrows and Johnson.
Absolutely. And, you know, like we mentioned, like with the natural scorers that we have, and then you have Churchill and Oz who can get on the glass, who can stretch the floor by shooting whether the 3 or being on the perimeter inside. You know, they can get buckets from any position on the floor, and now we see.
I'm distracted. Chris Johnson, I'd love to have him mic'd up right now. He's doing a whole lot of talking. Telling Kizzy they need a timeout.
You gotta love it. That's the competitive nature of the players. You know, if you're that competitive, the so-called trash talk is gonna happen no matter what.
Yeah. 40 seconds left, and Marquise Clayton on the line shooting 2. Clayton, product of Citadel High in Halifax, was a two-time AUS All-Star, led the nation in assists with over 7 per game in 2014-15, and played 34 games in the NBL Canada with Moncton and Halifax. Chris Johnson on the drive. Gets hit going up, and he just has such a sense of where his defenders are, uses his body positioning so well. I mean, don't get me wrong, he can hit that tough floater through 2 guys, but that time he just saw the defense was there and said, I'm going up, and worst case scenario, I'm on the free throw line shooting too.
And like we said, the experience and the point guard mentality is what gets him to the line, gets him to those open looks. And he's been successful all game long, you know, not only being involved on the, you know, scoring sheet, but distributing the ball, communicating, playing that defense is, like we said, the experience is all, and you see it right before your screens.
As Johnson, also an excellent free throw shooter, knocks down 2 from the line there, and it's a 1-point game with 30 seconds remaining in the first half. What a game here. The first semifinal of RGT Championship weekend. This fantastic men's league in Halifax, really growing and gaining some prominence. Now Clayton puts up a 3, knocks it down. Big time triple there by Mara Clayton, and the lead is up to 4. 5 seconds remaining. Burrows, cross half, settles into the free throw line jumper, so smooth. And that will do it for the first half, but 59-57. That's an NBA first half right there in just 20 minutes. Running clock for some of it, unless it's free throws.
Absolutely, and you know, or a timeout, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, the games are serious.
I know.
I feel like there's a lot of heat. You know, I know it's hot outside, but I feel like it's hotter in the gym.
Well,
with the heat that we see from these players.
Tell
right?
Coach Luke to get some AC going in here.
I think it's
Neil Hooper.
I love those guys, Neil, Tresh, but I think there's so much that could be done in this gym.
Yeah.
I mean,
anyway,
I love it. I've played.
It's hot in the gym,
years,
but the guys are off to a hot start shooting too.
100%. I think they're adding to it, right? Somebody check the thermometer here. But yeah, like a lot of things on display here. You know, not only the shooting from everyone and the scoring, like we mentioned, the athleticism, but there's a lot of mental toughness. And the toughness on the defensive end or the offensive end, you know, most of the times on, like, you know, men's league games, since they're not as serious, you know, it's not like you have a whole season at stake, a banner for your program, or whatever the case may be when you play AUS levels or high-level pro basketball. The defense here is almost like we are watching a pro basketball game.
Yeah.
And in fact, obviously, there's pro talent on the floor in this gym. In fact, the most pro talent this floor has probably ever seen. But yeah, it's amazing to watch, and I'm sure that people watching from home also enjoying it.
I think a good tagline for RGT is not your average men's league, because it's not.
It is not.
There is high caliber players. There is a huge competitive streak. There's guys currently in university who are, like you mentioned, staying season tuned up for summer, and guys who might have been playing pro if it wasn't for the pandemic, who are just staying ready, staying in shape. So it's competitive on both ends.
And maybe if not for the pandemic, most of these players would have still pursued the pro opportunities, because 2 years out of the game is a lot of time. And, you know, like you said, staying ready is one thing, to be consistent with working out every single time and going to the gym and putting that work is a lot. And it requires a lot of attention to detail and discipline. And having that as a lean back is always great.
We're going to take a 1-minute break here, but we'll be right back with the second half. You're watching live coverage of the RGT semifinal on YouTube.
All good?
All right, welcome back. Second half action of the RGT semifinal as Kizzy leads Top Gear Auto 59-57. Shamar Burrows, who had a good first half, misses that jumper. But Cordell Gentil able to clean it up, and we're all tied up again, 59-all. Big shout out to the MVP of the league, Tyler Oliver, sitting to my left. We'll see him in semifinal 2 coming up. As Tyler Scott can't get that floater to go, Kevin Churchill with the follow, he's fouled, and we'll head to the line to shoot 2. And Ilya, back on the mic with me here.
Back on the mic.
It's quick. That's only a 4-minute halftime. Like, we're used to these 15-minute AUS halftimes.
Oh, a 15-minute break is always great, if you ask me. Grab some water, maybe grab a bite to eat, you know, settle down, check the stats online.
Well, I do have a few stats here, and it's going to take me a second to tabulate, but Chris Johnson has 19 points. Marquise Clayton looks to be leading the way with 18 for Kizzy. So Johnson with 19, Clayton with 18, and Kizzy leads 60-59.
It's once again 1-point game. The same trend we saw in the first half, back and forth. So I don't expect it to change or be any different in this half either.
That is a high degree of difficulty pass there from Johnson.
And if anyone who could make that pass is certainly Johnson.
Yeah. Looking for Chikwe. He started the game red hot, 4 of 4 from 3 for the first 12 points for TGA, but has cooled off since. It would be a huge boost if TGA can get him involved defensively in this second half. Now Clayton able to dish it to Barry, and lots of contact. It goes out of bounds. Will remain Kizzy ball on the baseline.
The crowd out there is trying to help the refs make the call. But
some more stats here. Osmond Barry had 16. So it was the former Huskies, Barry and Clayton, combining for 34 first half points to lead the way. And we're having a little bit of fun here on the baseline. Chris Johnson not letting Barry get that ball in bounds. Now he does to Clayton. Look at that, no look feed. Barry bobbles, but able to catch and finish. And the St. Mary's connection continues to thrive here, leading the way with 18 points each for Kizzy. Burrows now on the crossover, puts it up, can't get it to drop. Barry swinging those elbows.
Protecting the basket, and now Silver
misses a jumper, but follows his own shot, able to put a lot of pressure on and probably earn them a second chance.
And that's been a problem with the TGA squad this game, not boxing out enough and giving those second chance opportunities.
Silver behind the back for Churchill. He'll knock that. Yes, he will. You can't leave him open.
And to be honest, when you said it and the way the ball was flying, I'm like, it's certainly going in.
As Gentil able to answer with 2 on the other end, and back to a 4-point game. 8 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Clayton always plays with a big chip on his shoulder, Mark Clayton. Never looks happy on the court, does he?
Hey, I mean, you know, when you're in the zone and you're in the mood and you want to win a game, nobody is really smiling and laughing at you, so I don't blame him.
Now Barry. Double comes, great anticipation by Chikwe, heading the other way. Too strong on the lay-in, great job by Silver. Chikwe wanted a foul. Oh, but Silver dribbles it off his own foot, and the back and forth continues. It's going to be TGA ball here.
TGA has to take advantage of these opportunities. They don't come so often. You pressure the ball, you force a turnover, you have to convert.
Now Burrows. Burrows himself had 13 first half points for TGA. Chikwe connects. Well, Liffey Chikwe started the first half with 4 threes. Looking to continue that trend in the second half and cuts the Kizzy lead to 1.
And that was a contested jumper too. It was great defense, but better offense by Chikwe.
Clayton fouled, and lets the crowd know it. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. Foul against Chikwe, his second personal. Clayton mentioned a 2-time AUS All-Star during his time with the St. Mary's Huskies. In the Huskies' top 5 all-time in assists, and that's one of the most decorated basketball schools in Canada. If you look back to the 60s, 70s, they had some amazing players, some guys who were drafted to the NBA, in Mickey Fox and Will Njoku.
And, not to mention all the role players that were there with Rick Plato, who's currently obviously coaching the Dow Tigers, but he's a talent himself.
Yeah, for sure. He won 2 national championships in the 70s and another one in the year 2000 with, they were led in that one by Jonah Tossing, now their current head coach. Anyway, there was an assist right there for Clayton as Tyler Scott was able to finish, and they've opened up a 5-point lead. Now Jabber. Here comes Clayton, fast break, lays it up and in, and I think the depth of Kizzy, or the lack of depth for TGA, is starting to make an impact. We saw, they cut it to 65-64, but a quick 6-0 run, all in transition here.
Not taking care of the transition defense is gonna make you pay on any level. The amount of times I heard it from Luke Stevenson on our side is, you gotta stop the ball in transition, because the moment you snooze is when you get an open look in any shape or form, right? You're either gonna give up a wide open 3 or you're gonna get an easy layup. So something that's not working out right now for TGA is that they're not defending the transition well, and they're not rebounding as a unit as well. So that has to change for them to stay in this game. If Kizzy just continues to launch threes, and you're going to have to box out either Churchill or Barry or even Travis Adams, who is a bigger player himself. So you're going to get paid. You're gonna get more points on the board against yourself, and that's not going to help you win this game.
Yeah, that's right. And worth mentioning that for the first half of the season, TGA had another Johnson, Chris's brother Caleb, who's an outstanding young talent, and he's 6'5" himself, so that was a big loss for them. He went to play at a junior college, I believe, in North Dakota.
Caleb, I've had the chance to see him play last summer. I didn't really have a chance to play against him or see him at any runs or even see him play in the RGT league, but he's certainly a talented player and athletic,
freak athlete, And, you talk about, like, I think there's 10 years, maybe a little more difference between him and Chris, but what a mentor. Chris, who is doing training and local basketball camps with his Tunnel Vision Association, big mentor in the youth community in basketball here in Nova Scotia. But his closest pupil is his younger brother, Caleb, who is looking to perhaps end up in D1 after another solid season in junior college. Churchill dishes it down low for Adams, and everybody's getting into the act here for Kizzy. This is a 7-0 or an 8-0 run over the last minute or so.
It's the largest deficit we've seen so far in the game. Is Johnson acrobatic going to the rim.
Yeah, tough take there. I mean, Churchill's asking, what am I supposed to do? He's straight up, but that's, again, Johnson's so good at drawing fouls. The body control, he knows exactly where his defender's arms are, and he's going to go into him.
And he's going to make you pay if you don't contest it either.
Yeah.
So you kind of you have to make a decision. You either give up a wide open layup or you force him to shoot free throws and see if he can miss one or two.
Well, the refs here are obviously fantastic, but CJ's good enough. He doesn't need 15 free throw attempts. He doesn't need 15 free throw attempts to get his 30. He hit that one too. So Chris Johnson making a living from the line and cuts the lead to 8 here. Now Silver working on Roy Ayub. Silver can't get the triple to go. Cheapway with the rebound. Here comes TGA the other way. It's Burrows. Gets the step. That is so tough. It looked like there was no space at all between the defenders there.
That's the athleticism we talked about in Burrows. Something that he could take a hop, stop, and explode to the rim without hesitation.
Now Churchill working one-on-one against Gentil. Match up against two of the best bigs, and look at that. You know, he's wearing number 41. Can you think of the famous 41 who hit shots like that?
Oh, I certainly could think of a player who is perhaps the greatest player that came from Europe.
Yeah.
And obviously we know who Dirk Nowitzki.
That looked like Dirk.
Oh, that looked a lot like Dirk. A lot of arc off the backboard, try to block that shot.
One-legged fadeaway?
I don't think so.
As Cheekway now.
We certainly know who is going for that throne as the greatest European player to play the NBA.
Another Dallas Mav? Or Jokic? You're thinking Jokic, not Luka?
Thinking Giannis.
Oh shoot, right.
We can't
Man,
forget
there are
Giannis.
so many good Europeans in the NBA
It's
right now.
insane. The game in Europe is growing so fast, and now there's much more recognition and more attention to it because of talent like Giannis and obviously Luka, and to name more players,
Jokic.
Joker, and we can continue on and on and on. And perhaps next year's #1 pick is from France.
Victor Wembanyama, or however that is pronounced. We'll know soon.
We'll know soon.
Hey, we didn't know it. Funny, I saw a video the other day of Giannis's rookie year and how the commentators were pronouncing his name, and they just had no idea. Now everybody knows.
Everybody knows, and he let them know, right?
Yeah, he did.
He came in with the authority, one dribble from half court, take 2 steps and dunk on it.
As travel there on Burrows on the spin move. You know he doesn't like that one. And a bit of a scoring drought here for TGA. They've only had 2 points. I think they had 58 at the half. Oh, big 3-ball there by Adams. They opened up an 11-point lead. I believe it was 59-58 at the half.
It was indeed.
So 19-9 is the score to begin the second half, but there's Chris Johnson.
You do not want Chris Johnson to get going because there's no stopping.
Yeah. And even if he goes quiet for a minute or two, he's always a threat to just start scoring in bunches. But a great take there by Corey Hollett and the finish.
And you haven't seen Hollett do much this game, but certainly a tough basket, tough finish through traffic with the possibility to get up and one.
Is he a player you played against at the Mount?
I have not. No,
Oh,
he
okay.
probably
was
played
a little bit before.
me.
Yeah.
I believe I will be seeing some Mount players that I played against.
Most of them were on my team, Super Smash Bros.
Oh, okay.
We had Will Spalding, Joel McCrossin, Jackson Smith, Nick Jennings. And we lost in the quarterfinal last night to these guys, Gremlins, who we'll be seeing coming up. It was a fun game. We also played against TGA this year. We didn't play against Kizzy, but there's a tough floater there by Chris Johnson. He is just carrying the offense for TGA in this third quarter. Adams, high degree of difficulty, spinning step back. He's saying he's so nice and he wants us all to know about it. He's so nice. If you don't believe him, just ask. 3-ball, Chris Johnson.
Now Chris is gonna make it a one-on-one game if you want him to make it a one-on-one game.
Yeah, he's saying, give it to Travis. We're working on something here. Ooh, nice cut.
Nice.
No. But Burrows able to pick the pocket of Barry. Burrows in transition. Wow, great job there by Corey Hollett anticipating.
Corey Hollett knew exactly where he was going, and that's something that Burrows should have taken care of. Sidestepping to the left.
Well, that's
if
scouting
you
too.
want a Euro.
No, he did sidestep to the left.
Yeah, but I think it would have been better if he went left,
Right.
and finished on the other side.
Right.
Because
Hollett knows he's trying to finish on the left and beat him to that spot. So 9-point game here, 2:20 in the third quarter. Adams, feeling it. Deep 3. Didn't get it that time. He's still nice though.
he is still nice. He will make you pay if you leave him open, and we all know that.
Hollett, I like his defensive intensity right now, but Cheekway gets a step. Hollett didn't give up, looked like he got a piece of it. And another turnover for TGA.
And Cheekway got unlucky. He looked like he beat him Hollett there off the dribble, going to the right hand, but slipping with the ball and getting it hit off his own leg, out of bounds, and now another opportunity that they could have cut the lead is cut short.
One of the kind of fun things about seeing this TGA team, specifically Chikwe and Burrows, is, you know, at Dow, you're in the system, right? Like, you play in that system, you know what's expected, it's defense first. You have your spots on offense where you catch. There's a collision there. But here, Chris saying he was shooting. He was going to alley-oop that from 40 feet out. You know the CJ alley-oop from 40 feet out, it's his go-to move. As Johnson gets it in for Janti. But yeah, here in the RGT, you get to see Chikwe and Burrows be a little more creative, you know, call their own number a bit more.
I feel like if they call their own number in games at Dow, there's a high possibility that Coach Plato wouldn't be happy and they would be sitting right next to him. You know, I could already hear Plato's notorious voice going.
I feel like I haven't heard it that much, but I can definitely hear him in my head go, Shamar!
Picture it. You could just picture it. Yes.
I can hear Plato's voice yelling Shamar.
And we've seen it multiple times.
But like, it creates a winning program. They've won 4 of the last 5 of the last 6, somewhere.
They did indeed. And you know, considering that it's Plato's 10th year now with the Tigers, it is unmatched what he was able to accomplish with that program. 2 national medals, bronze in 2017 and 2020. They fell short silver of a gold medal to Carleton.
Steal there by Drama Downey. Nice pass, and Chikwe finishes. TGA showing a bit of life. Quick 5-0 run, and they've cut it to a 5-point lead for Kizzy.
That was a great decision there. Dumping it off to Ethan, who was trailing down, who obviously had a better and clearer look to cut it down to 5.
Cordell Janti picks up his 3rd. Minute 10 remaining in the 3rd quarter, but if Janti picked up 4, I mean, he is really the lone true big out here for TGA against we've already talked about the size of the Kizzy front line. That would be a loss if he gets in foul trouble. I think he's played the whole game, and he was limping around last night. He had an injury in their quarterfinal.
Oh.
Yeah. And again, 42 years old, coming off a leg injury, playing the whole game. It's impressive.
Tough battles are won by the greatest soldiers, as they say.
Chikwe, long on that 3. 7-point game, less than a minute remaining in the 3rd quarter. Travis Adams finds Silver. Nice ball movement from Kizzy. Corner, TJ Hollett settles into a 3, knocks it down. Big time triple there from TJ Hollett. Now Burrows explodes to the rim and lays it up and in.
I was expecting something stronger than that, but you know, the positioning wasn't the best for Burrows to go off for the dunk on that one. But 2 points is better than none.
And he is another guy who's probably played the whole game. It's hot in this gym. He's getting himself into regular season shape. Probably will start training camp at Dow in a week or 2.
Top definitely will not have to worry about being in or out of shape. Playing the whole summer in this league.
Janti can't get the layup at the buzzer to fall, and 8-point lead for Kizzy. Haven't mentioned at all, Kizzy is the defending champions of this RGT league, and looking to advance to the final for the 2nd straight year.
It's obviously hard to lose with that much talent on the team.
Well, and some of the guys that they've had playing with them at times this year or in the past that aren't here today, Sven Stamberger, talked Dow Tigers, an all-Canadian, amazing player.
Amazing player, better person.
Yeah, another Carleton Raven in Elliot Thompson. I don't know if you've seen him play at all, but he is a sharp shooter.
Can't leave him open.
Nope.
Will not leave him open. And I feel like it is too TGA's advantage today that he's not here. Because leave him wide open, and another big who's known for his mind for the game, finding the open looks, not only for himself, but creating those for his teammates. He's a great player.
So you think this Kizzy team is deep in talent now? Imagine Sven and Elliot on that squad.
All Canadians, AUS champion in Stamberger, bronze medalist, obviously, and Elliot, a national champion with Carleton Ravens.
3 or 4, it's tough to say sometimes. Like, some of those guys have 5, some have 4. Almost all have 3 because Carleton's won. Is it 13 of the last 17, 14 of the last 18? It's around there.
Well, at this point, it's
20-year
I
run.
lose count.
I know, and it's not even the Dave Smart era anymore. It's been a 20-year run. Taffy Charles doing a great job as head coach now. But what a dynasty. Kevin Churchill was on the coaching staff there for a couple years after graduating.
So add those extra medals.
Seriously.
As a coach.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind the hardware.
How about we're going to almost guarantee get a chance to see Carleton back here in March as the Youth Sports Championships are coming back to where I believe they belong, the Scotiabank Centre.
Perhaps one of the best places to, have those games on display. Always packed crowd in that Metro Center. I just love watching those games in there.
St. FX will host this year as Burrows knocks down the free throw line jumper. Now, they've been away for a couple years, Ottawa, Edmonton, but making their triumphant return this year. And Halifax always comes out and supports, especially when there's a local team or two in the mix. Burrows creates space, can't get it to fall. Jonty looking for the second chance, but Barry comes away with the rebound. Gotta watch out for those elbows of Osmond Barry. Now Clayton dishes it out. Nice pass down low. Churchill on the block. Good patience, deflected out by Johnson. Will remain Kizzy ball with 8:40 remaining in the game. They continue to lead by 9.
Churchill out there is not happy with the call. The reaching arms were certainly there, but they got the ball nonetheless.
Yeah, as Barry settles into a 3. Well, I was saying pregame, I truly believe Kevin Churchill's one of, if not the best player in this league, but it's tough for traditional big men in a men's league like this, right? Everybody just wants to run, shoot threes, attack off the dribble, go one-on-one. As here's Churchill. And Cordell Jonty is no slouch as a veteran defender, defending pros, American pros in the NBL Canada for a long time.
When you play defense on that type of level, men's league defense seems like just much easier.
For sure. As now Scott, cross court for Churchill. He'll put up a 3. That one's going to be off. Jonty tracks down the rebound. Could be a big possession here for TGA. They're going to slow it down, looking to cut into this 9-point Kizzy lead. Cheekway, too strong. Great rebound by Downey. Out for Johnson, wide open, knocks it down, and the lead's down to 6.
And Chris Johnson once again with another tray with a lot of space. Uncharacteristic mistake so far by the Kizzy in this game.
Quick shout out to Drama Downey as well. I don't think he shot the ball once all game, but he's doing the little things. That was a nice offensive rebound and feed. We saw a nice transition play to Cheekway. Sometimes when you're playing on a team with these high-level scorers, that's all you got to do. Crash the glass, find the open man, and play your best on D.
Hey, a lot of times, those players actually get rewarded on the high-level teams, and I think there's not enough emphasis growing up in doing those little things. A lot of players come in to play in those U sports on the U Sport level or CCAA level, but there's always room for a player who does the things that nobody else does.
Yeah, with very few exceptions. Oh, what a finish there by Marquis. There's only going to be one guy on a college team scoring 20-plus points.
100%.
Everybody else needs to find their role. And if that guy's out, maybe you'll get a chance to, take 20 shots, but you got to find the little things to keep you on the court. As Cheekway with the answer, lead is back to 6. Actually called that shot by Clayton at 2 in the corner there. Clayton dancing on Cheekway. Now he'll drive and is fouled on the drive.
blocking foul called against Chico. I think he did a great job containing Clayton. Maybe let him go to the hoop, allow the help defense to help, and maybe get that extra rotation.
That is Chico's 4th personal foul as well. 7 minutes remaining in the game, but they're going to need him for the stretch run. As Kizzy and Javert will check in. And Kizzy's going to take a timeout here. What do you want to talk about?
Hey,
I know we're working hard here.
Yeah, I'm trying to hear what's going on there between Shamar and the official, but I think he was trying to stand up for Chikwe to get that foul on him, so Chikwe is not in a foul trouble. But you know, refs have their mind made up, and there's no going back. That's for sure. And you know, it's going to be a tough break for this TGA squad. You're losing a natural scorer, another athletic guard, and who can play defense and offense, can get things done. But, you know, let's see what these role players can do. We saw, obviously, Downey get those rebounds, get the hustle points, you know, creating something that, you know, you wouldn't expect from just a role player that's, you know.
Well, that's another cool thing about this league is, like, it's high level, but it's also for everyone. Like, you can be a guy who didn't play, myself, you know, I played high school, but didn't play at university at all, but I'm out there playing with university guys, playing against pros. You know, you see the TGA team, like Faisal and Roy are out here. I don't think they played at university, but they're out here, they're getting a chance to play with these pros, and it's a cool experience for any basketball player.
That would have been probably the first shot that Downey took.
Yeah, I think so. And it was not a split-cack.
It was not a split-cack. It wasn't even close.
Clayton puts up a triple, rims out, but great rebound there by Churchill. Take it out himself. Cross court for Hollett. Hollett puts up a 3, knocks it down, triple.
Another guy who can knock down the 3 from pretty much anywhere on this court.
And you know, there's also guys who, for whatever reason, like kind of hit their peak as basketball players later in life. You know, not everybody has the developmental curve where they're coming in at 18 years old ready to play, but some guys just stay in the gym, get better with age, and we're going to see an example of that in our next game coming up, the league MVP, Tyler Oliver. You know, a guy who didn't play college basketball, but like he's the MVP for a reason. Yeah, for sure.
He's a problem out here.
He's a problem out here.
He's a problem.
You know, you just keep working, keep playing, and like things will pay off.
A lot of times you can just play and have fun.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of when you have fun and you play against great competition, you get better no matter what. It just becomes natural. It just happens. And especially when you play with a high-level talent, they can always provide you with feedback that you would not necessarily see in an open run or just see in general.
Johnson blocked by Barry that time. Churchill ran into some traffic. Now Burrows can't get the floater to go. Chikwe back into the game with 4 fouls. Burrows defended by Barry. The Bahamian kicks to Johnson, 3, and Will Silver didn't give him the landing space.
And Chris Johnson took advantage of that right away. Recognize there's no space. You fall, 99% chance the ref will always give you that call.
Well, again, it's Johnson, you know, playing slowly, lets Silver come out and really challenge him, and then rises up saying, "You're not going to block me, and you might foul me." Oh, but Johnson can't connect from the free throw line.
These free throws are crucial for the TGA. Being down 9, he had the chance, obviously, to cut it down to 6, but now...
Johnson likes to call these cardio runs, and I'd say he's getting his cardio today. He's played every minute. He's being asked to do a lot, especially on the offensive end, but also guarding up on the defensive end. And he's also wearing pants, and it's like 34 degrees in this gym.
I couldn't wear
Wouldn't
pants.
catch me wearing pants in here.
Never. Never. I know this gym way too well in the summer.
Yeah.
I've worked out with it with fans on, and it was drenched hot.
So a good cardio run on a Saturday afternoon for CJ, but you know, that competitive fire will kick in. He wants more than just a good day's cardio. 7-point game here, 5:20 remaining in regulation. Marquise Clayton, he's had a big day. Clayton dishes it down to Churchill on the block. Churchill working on Johnson. Nice dish down low. Barry finishes. Beautiful post-to-post pass in there by Kevin Churchill.
The recognition that the double team has come off that help side defense, dumps it off to Barry, and Barry, without hesitation, converts to easy two.
Chikwe, tough shot, can't get it to go. Adams with the rebound, and now Clayton can initiate some offense for Kizzy. They can smell the victory and another finals appearance. Great D there by Chikwe. Beating Clayton to the spot and stripping him, but it will remain Kizzy ball.
That was a risky play there by Chikwe. He misses the ball by one bit, and he's sitting on the bench for the rest of the game.
You're right.
Played out well.
4 fouls, yeah, that was a risky going for the steal. And TGA will take a timeout. Reminder, not to go too far, is coming up. I mean, it won't be 2:45, but 3 o'clock, 10 minutes after the conclusion of this one, we'll have the second semifinal as league MVP Tyler Oliver and the Gremlins take on the Young Guns, featuring Chase Tynes, Jaden Smith. There's some exciting players. A couple AUS current players in Jonah Crowther of St. Mary's and Sam Chisholm of UPEI. I mean, this is just such a deep league and it's fun. Like, you know, we got guys from ages, actually Dr. Alan Abbas is playing, so he's got to be, we got to have players from like 18 years old to 60 plus in this league. It's pretty cool to see.
And like you said, it's a league for everyone.
Yeah.
It just goes to show how much of everyone it could be.
Yeah. It's for everyone, but don't expect to show up and you know, succeed if you're not ready to play.
If you're not ready to play, you might as well.
You might
just
get
stay
embarrassed
home
too. You might get dunked on by Tyler Oliver, as a few of my teammates did last night.
I'm sure it's
He had
not fun.
he had a put back on this net. It was wild.
So I'm kind of sad that I missed it.
Yeah.
By the way you say
Oh well, Maritime Athletic Profiles wasn't here. Otherwise, you'd be seeing the replays all over today. As Clayton can't hit. Adams. Offensive rebound, fade away in the lane, can't get it to drop. Jonty corrals the rebound. 9-point game, 4:14 remaining. Johnson, quick pass for Chikwe. He'll put up the triple and connects. Iffy Chikwe has shown an ability to hit that three today.
And he has, if I did not lose count, it's 6 or 7.
Yeah, maybe one layup too, but most of his damage has happened from beyond. He got fouled on one too and hit a couple free throws. As Barry, spinning in the lane, lost his footing. Burrows ends up on his back, and is it a travel or an out of bounds?
Everyone's
It's
complaining that
slippery.
he was out of bounds.
That's another problem in any summer league ball. Like, guys go down, you're gonna have a slippery floor.
You better have 10 towels on the go. Especially, I mean, in any gym in this
Yeah, I know.
in this
We
province,
can't
I
keep
think.
hating on this gym.
I
for
can.
being
No,
too
I'm
hot.
not hating. No, not at all. I love this gym. I love playing here.
For those of you who don't know, Ilya played 4 years? 4
I
years.
did, well,
With the
we'll
kid-
say
you had a
one of
COVID
them
year.
COVID
yeah,
years.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why I said 3-4, right?
Yeah.
It's tough. You lose eligibility of all these guys.
Well, I mean, I still have eligibility. I just
There
decided
you go.
school was to be terminated at this
Time
point.
to go pro in other areas of life.
Absolutely.
So we get an inbound here, looking to lob it in for Barry. Now Adams. Around the horn for Clayton. Ended by Jabber. I think he'll look to, nope, cross-court pass for Silver. Nice pass down low, and Churchill is fouled. That's beautiful ball movement by Kizzy. I mean, off that baseline inbound, 14 on the shot clock, they took their time. All 5 guys touched, a couple cross-court passes, and Churchill, his foul, will head the line to shoot 2.
And it's a smart decision by Jabber, too, not giving up the easy 2 and making him earn it on the free throw line, especially with 3.5 left in this game. You do not want to, you cannot afford any extra points. So if you could get a chance and, you know, force him to miss 1 off the free throw line, you take that any day.
As Churchill knocks down the first, former Carleton Raven hits both. Jabber, open on the block, he'll go to the hook shot, can't get it to drop. And we get a foul in the backcourt as TGA. Still a good amount of time left, 3:24, but they need some scores and stops if they hope to get back in this game. Clayton. Because we've seen Kizzy with 101 points already. It's tough to keep them from scoring, even if we get 2 on the other end. Clayton, tough shot, can't get it to go, but another offensive rebound. Will Silver, that's top of the food chain balance right there, tiptoeing the sideline. Barry, floater, can't get it to drop. All right, maybe. yeah. Little hop on 1 foot.
Now 2:56 left in this game. TGA get second stop in a row. They now need to convert on 1. They need to get the 3 stops, convert on them, and get a kill, and then get another one if they want to win this game. But
see, Tyler, people are like, what's the point of the exercise ball shooting from half court? That's the point right there. You can tiptoe the sideline. That's advanced balance right there. You can't do that if you can't hit a half court shot off an exercise ball. As Burrows now brings it across half. Defended by Silver, the RGT Defensive Player of the Year. Now Burrows will reset. Has Churchill on him. Johnson defended by Silver. Johnson, high degree of difficulty. Are you kidding me? The ref mania slap. I would not advise anyone else to do that, but Chris Johnson knows that shot was ridiculous.
Yes. Off balance, off a spin, fade away 3. If anyone that can do it, it's Chris Johnson. Maybe Tyler Scott.
Maybe. But yeah, that's an outrageous shot there by Chris Johnson, and a foul against Kizzy, so, you know, chance here to cut it to a single possession game with a score for TGA. This one's not over. Down 5, 2:20 to go. Burrows, preserving the clock, will pick it up at half. Now Silver defending him. Jonty brings the screen. Burrows to Jonty. Big size advantage on the block and puts it up and in, and it's a 3-point game.
Amazing decision making there by Shamar Burrows, getting the switch, making sure that, you know, Jonty exactly gets the advantage on the inside on Will Silver, and an easy 2 for him.
Churchill, though, that is advanced big man moves right there.
Display of footwork on both ends of the floor.
It's funny, those Carleton big men, like I looked up Churchill's stats, he was averaging like 8 and 5 as a senior, but as Burrows gets it back and finishes, and it's back to a 3-point game. Yeah, Churchill averaging like 8 and 5 as a senior, but at Carleton, they're winning all their games by like 50. Like, you know? And they never, even when Phil Scrub was winning like National Player of the Year, he was averaging like 14 points per game. And they never have guys drop 30 at Carleton.
And that's the beauty of Carleton. Everybody knows understands their role, understands what they're great at. You don't see guys that normally don't shoot threes. You know, like perfect example, Marcus Anderson, 3-time National Defensive Player of the Year. You
probably averaged less than 10 points per game.
You rarely see him take a shot. Yeah. And now you see him in the CBL and you see him in the NBL. Yeah. He shoots wide open threes. He creates his own shots. And just because we didn't see something like that in youth sports doesn't mean that they can't do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of players like that. As Churchill is fouled on the block and will head to the line to shoot 2. Oh, no. They called the foul on Chris Johnson. That would be his 5th. So that's happening right now. Chris Johnson, if that foul is on him, it was his 5th, and they called it on him. But it looks like he's going to stay in the game. I think they convinced the refs to give it to Burroughs. That's an important piece of politicking right there. And it's a 4-point game. TGA needs a score here, down 4 with 1:20 remaining. Burroughs behind his back, working on Silver on the block. Burroughs getting to that left hand, nice wraparound pass. Jonty, count it, and 1. A chance to make it a 1-point game from the line. Beautiful basketball there by Burroughs.
Yeah, Burroughs had an eternity to drive around everyone in traffic and dump it off to Jonty for that easy layup.
And Tyler Scott's going to check in here for Travis Adams. Was that Adams' 5th? Oh, okay. Foul is on Will Silver. Jonty misses, but it's going to be a violation on him anyway.
Minute 7 left, 2-point game between the two.
Should mention TGA, the number 1 seed coming into this playoffs. Kizzy, number 5. The other semifinal will be, were you number 2 or number 3? Yeah, number 3 Gremlins against number 2 Young Guns. Now Clayton on the drive. Can't get the lane to go. Burroughs on the rebound. Chance to tie it up here. Burroughs fouled. Taking on 3 Kizzy players. I don't even know how he held on to the ball.
Hey, that's the, you know, we talked a lot about Burroughs' game, the strength, the muscle. You can see it. He held on to that ball like it was glued to his hand.
Yeah, he looked like a running back there. It was popped out for a second, but able to regain possession and draw the foul. And a chance here for Shamar Burroughs to make it 104 apiece. Secret though, free throw shooting has not been the strength of his Dow career.
But let's see if he pays off today. He's 1 for 1
Saying it
so
quietly.
far.
I don't want him to hear me, but I think he's like 55%.
No, I'm not. I probably will have to verify with the stats, but his strength is definitely more driving force and getting to the rim.
Goes 1 for 2 and fouls Churchill, and that will put Churchill on the line. So, bit of a chess match here. We're starting to see, you know, we're getting into the last minute of a semifinal game. Both teams in the bonus.
And I think that's Burroughs' 5th foul.
Oh no, that's a game changer. So Shamar Burroughs has fouled out. That's a big hit to TGA's offense. But in the last minute here, all you really need is 1 big bucket, and they still have Chris Johnson. Churchill misses the first. TGA staying alive. 1-point game, 42 seconds remaining. Kevin Churchill, the former Carleton Raven, on the line for Kizzy, shooting 1. Churchill hits, so a 2-point game, 105-103. Inbounded for Johnson, double comes. Jabber, over for Jonty. Now Downey, you know they want to get it to Johnson, and they do. Johnson, defended by Churchill. Johnson, off the dribble, has it poked out from behind. 11 seconds on the shot clock here. And Johnson's inbounding. They get it in for Jabber. 10 on the shot clock. Deflected out again. Kizzy ramping up the defensive intensity. It's going to be a timeout here. 9 seconds on the shot clock. You know they want to get Chris Johnson the ball. First off, were you surprised he was the inbounder on that last play?
Not necessarily, because he's obviously one of the better players on that squad. And if anything, he would know who, when, and why to pass the ball to, and he'll certainly, it's a give and go. He'll get the ball back immediately, but I think it would be better if you get Genty inbound. But the problem now becomes is that leaves out the space for Kizzy to double up on Johnson, right? And the opportunities there now become slimmer for him to get the ball and get the shot off. And now with Burrows being out of the game, you lose a threat on the offensive side of the floor, and it becomes slightly tricky. I think you need to inbound the ball to Genty because he's strong enough to hold on to it, wait, and give it to Johnson.
Coach Luke is antsy. He's trying to get in one of those huddles and put up an inbounds play right now. You know, that's one of the interesting things about a men's league too. You don't have a coach, so in a timeout like that, like you gotta. I'm sure they're looking at Chris Johnson, but every team kind of has a leader. Like, what are we doing here? Where are we going? You're not diagramming a play, but these guys have played enough basketball to understand what they need to do in a position like this. So Chikwe will inbound. They get it in for Johnson. Quick give and go to Chikwe. Blocked by Barry. Chikwe puts it in. Tied up. 105. 17 seconds remaining. And Kizzy, did they take a timeout, but they don't have a timeout?
I'm confused as
No,
to
I think
what
they
is
had a
going on
timeout
right now. But
each team gets two second-half timeouts. They've definitely taken one.
Way to hustle by TGA, blocked by Barry. Now Genty gets the offensive board tip, and you know, Ife Chikwe, who was initially getting that layup, got the putback.
So here we go, 15 seconds. The trip to the RGT Championship on the line. Marquise Clayton with 8 seconds. Silver brings the screen. Clayton slips. 4 seconds. Clayton, tough step back three, doesn't get it to go, and we are heading to overtime in semifinal number 1. You gotta wait, Gremlins. Slippery floors, says Nick Auger.
Fantastic defense by Chikwe, not giving an inch to Clayton, who is known for knocking down those tough shots from the perimeter. But extra basketball, I'm not mad.
No, me neither. I mean, we're running a little late, but the DJ's doing a great job here. We just had a runaway, and now Nova came. Classics.
Hey, come on. It's only classics only. Classics only.
It's summer.
James,
it's summer, baby.
James is on it.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, James Wise been in the athletic department for
Not
a very long time.
Not the Warriors' second overall pick.
No, we're not talking about James Wise. That was a Warrior. No, he is still a Warrior.
Yeah.
No.
Although,
James Wise.
Have we seen him play James Wiseman in the NBA?
Of course I have.
No, I know, but he hasn't played in like.
Yeah, he hasn't played this year.
He didn't play at all this year. He played a little last year. And then before that, he didn't even really play in Memphis. Anyway, though, that's not what we're here to talk about.
That's not what we're here about. But yeah, shout out to James Wise for the music taste.
Right now, though, Shamar Burrows having fouled out with a 3-minute overtime here, that's costly. So I don't know the rules. We got a 3-minute overtime. Are we still in bonus? Looks like it. Do each team have a timeout? Possibly.
Possibly. I think the overtime rule probably, you know, is universal for a timeout. So it'd be kind of funny if they did.
Does each team have a timeout?
Yes.
Each team has one timeout. So good to know.
Hearing from the officials directly.
So Clayton gets it here, defended by Chikwe. 3 minutes. Overtime, trip to the final on the line. Final will be tomorrow afternoon. We'll have the call on Maritime Athletic Profiles YouTube. Now Churchill to the right hand, count it, and 1. Sometimes when the going gets tough, you go to your big man and let him go to work. And Kevin Churchill made him pay right there. It's 4 against Chris Johnson now. If he fouls out, I don't know who's going to do the scoring for TGA. Johnson gets it. His team trails by 3, 2:40 remaining in overtime. Johnson, last year's RGT MVP, looking to lead his team back to the finals. Jumper, can't get it to drop. Rebound, tracked down by Adams. And Kizzy looking to extend their 3-point lead. Silver gets it across half. Now Clayton working on the left wing, gets a step on Jabber. Clayton takes the contact, finishes and 1. Little flex on him. Back-to-back 3-point play opportunities for Kizzy.
Now, that's those that are the ones that are hurt in overtime, those N1 opportunities, you know. It's one thing when you give up a wide open layup to get somebody to the line, but if they convert back to back, that's 6 points. And with little time in overtime, it is not looking great for TJ, as I say, and Chris Johnson just gets an easy layup.
Yeah. That time with the drive, and you know, talk about him playing slow. You rarely see him turn on the speed burst like he did that time. Everybody expects him to pull up for three. Tyler Scott has been quiet today. Can't get that three ball to drop. Jonty with the rebound and a chance to cut it back to single possession game here. Chikwe working on Clayton. Now Johnson. Deep three off back rim. Clayton corrals the rebound and he'll slow it down and run some clock.
Johnson looks like he was looking for a call on that shot.
Churchill wants it on the block. Has Johnson on him. Puts up the jumper short. Great hustle by Adams. And it's going to remain Kizzy ball.
Another opportunity where they hustle for that offensive board, creating more possessions for Kizzy.
We don't have live stats, but the offensive rebounds in this game, huge advantage to Kizzy. Clayton misses the three. Jonty secures the defensive board. Now Chikwe, cross half. Lost the handle, able to get it back. Chikwe, the current Dow Tiger, looking to cross over on Tyler Scott. Silver brings the double. Chikwe, nowhere to go. It's going to remain TGA ball. Shot clock winding down here. Two seconds on the clock. They got to put it up. Jabber didn't get it off. Shot clock violation.
There's a lot going on in this game, and the clock didn't even flinch the whole inbound play. So I think there's a lot of miscommunication.
As Clayton, defended by Chikwe. He's close to one step back here, and he's across half, but he knows it. Clayton. Nice pass. Adams can't get the floater to drop, but Churchill, another second chance opportunity. And that might be the difference down the stretch here. The second chance rebounding of Kizzy has caused problems for TGA all night.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you spoke about the size factor. And, you know, Churchill being in the game, Adams being in the game, Berry being in the game. That's a lot of height and strength you have to play against. And, you know, when one of your stronger players fouls out and Shamar Burrows, and then you only have one big man in Genty, is a tough play. It's a tough way to play.
I mean, their guards are no slouch either. Not tall, but you talk about Will Silver and Marquise Clayton, two of the stronger guards you'll find around here.
I from time to time see both of them on social media posting what they do for their workouts, and I'm like, well, I want to be like them when I grow up, but I might have to stick to my workout plan and just be okay with what I am. But yeah, strength and height, just size advantages has been definitely a factor in this game.
Faisal Jabber fouled out there as well, so TGA with no bench left, but just 22 seconds remaining. Down 5, they're going to need a quick score and some help from the basketball gods. Clayton misses one. Long pass. Great read there by Churchill, intercepted, and Clayton will head to the line to ice it, more or less. Chance to make it a 7-point lead with 15 seconds remaining.
Last time I've seen that happen was Tracy McGrady getting the 12 and 13. No, 13 and
Tracy
35.
McGrady.
Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about, I'm talking about Reggie Miller getting
Reggie Miller was 8 and 11.
12 or 11
seconds, basically. So, yeah, you're right. That could happen.
Do we have a Reggie Miller here? Well, I guess pending to find out. I don't think we do, but
some of these guys talk like Reggie Miller. Reggie was a notorious trash talker.
Of course.
As Clayton hits both, so they're going to need a Reggie Miller. 7 7-point lead, and that is not what you want. So Kizzy is going to the RGT Championship, looking to defend their title. Big game I mean, it was truly a team effort, but Marquise Clayton and some Travis Adams as well kind of stand out as I think they were the lead scorers for Kizzy today.
Well, and obviously Churchill getting everybody involved, not only, you know, creating his own opportunities. We've seen him on a post, you know, giving a shake and bakes, backing guys down, but at the same time, backing it down, making the rotations happen, and finding those open guys, whether it's on the perimeter or inside, and it paid off. But the offensive glass was definitely a factor, giving up so many opportunities on the TGA side, and obviously with that much talent and that much scoring, you know, pretty much in every single player on the Kizzy squad will make you pay, and the result will display on the scoreboard.
Absolutely. Well, that does it for the first semifinal. Oh, was the final score 112-105? I think so. Kizzy advances. The number 5 seed will be playing for the championship tomorrow with a 112-105 win. 114-107. Thanks, Clark.
It was a 7-point differential.
7-point differential. Right. 114-107 win. Coming up in about 8 minutes, we'll have the second semifinal as number 2 seed Young Guns take on number 3 seed the Gremlins. Stick around. We'll wrap up though. For myself, Alan April, for Ilya Kurbanov, the team from Maritime Athletic Profiles and RGT Men's League. Thanks for watching. Second semifinal coming up in 5 minutes. We'll see you then.